Hi, I'm Jill Applegate. I'm a therapist in Santa Rosa, and I'm here to talk to you about attachment repair. I'm going to start with a story of a client. I'll call her Jan. And she came into me from the first session. She told me I have insecure attachment. She'd read up on it, she'd done quizzes about it, and she knew that was at the heart of her problem. And the problem that she wanted to work on was that she would get into relationships with men who seemed like they were different from the one before, but it turned out over time that they were pretty much cut from the same cloth. They would get into a relationship and something would happen, and the boyfriend would want some distance, and that would kick up Jan's attachment insecurity, and she would want to do almost anything to bring him closer and bring him back because she got really scared that she was going to lose him and that she didn't deserve him anyway. She knew that therapy was important, but she never really considered that she could change her attachment style. And most people think that their attachment style is a life sentence, a label that they wear. But actually, attachment is a complex concept. And it's possible to go from insecure attachment to earned secure attachment with hard work and the right kind of support. For those of you who aren't immersed in attachment research, here's a bit of background. Attachment is basically what we do in order to get our needs met from other people. So it starts when you're a newborn, and a newborn has attachment behaviors like crying or gazing or just generally being cute so that they can get their need met for nourishment and protection and soothing. And then as we get older, our attachment behaviors get more sophisticated and they're shaped by the people around us, the people who are caring for us. So if we are upset and our parents sort of ignore us, ignore all of our emotions, we learn to don't invest in those emotions. Just work on being super achievers or work on going out and exploring the world and getting self esteem and needs met that way. If we are upset and our parents tell us that we're making them upset, and then we start to feel responsible for their needs, then we learn that the way our needs get met are to take care of mom's needs or dad's needs. And we eventually sort of diminish our even awareness of our own needs. Or if we're upset and our parents come to us and they soothe us, they see what's going on with us, they respond appropriately, we tend to have secure attachment. So different responses teach us how to get our needs met at that time. And then we grow again and we get out into the world with other people in our lives. And but by this time, our attachment styles are kind of set, and the way that we interact with those other people in the world, our attachment styles don't really fit and they cause problems in relationships. Um, so there are three strategies that I sort of described. There's avoidant, where you turn off your emotions. There's anxious preoccupied, where you really just focus on other people's needs and emotions and ignore your own. And then there's secure. Um, they're each functional in their family environment, but like I said, they cause problems. So for Jan, she chose partners who were familiar to her attachment system. She knew deep down how to stay connected by valuing her boyfriend's needs more than her needs. Just as her boyfriends knew that they could avoid dangerous feeling emotions by getting out of there and getting a break and keeping her at arm's length. A securely attached person has a lot more flexibility. They can calm themselves when a boyfriend wants to get some space, or they can recognize their own needs and ask for help with them, ask for soothing and comfort when they need it. Going from insecure attachment to secure attachment involves basically one process. It's when you get the experience that you're in a relationship with somebody who uses security building behaviors, meaning they meet your needs. So there are specific behaviors that support attachment security, and getting these from someone can take different forms. But the two that I'm most interested in are therapist as attachment figure and ideal parent figure work. For therapist as a good enough attachment figure, when you go to a therapist, even though there's a lot of variability in personalities and style and all of this, that hour is an opportunity for the therapist to give you the experience of being safe, of being seen, of being soothed and supported and delightful. Each week, you have an hour with somebody who is on your side and sees what you're going through. And you, the client, grow to trust that interaction. And over time, you gain more flexibility in your responses so that you get more secure in your attachment. You can be more vulnerable with your emotions. You can see and value and voice your own needs. And that's why therapy is so strange sometimes and good sometimes. The ideal parent figure work is similar in that you're getting all of the same experience of getting these needs met, but it's more potent in the way that it's delivered. Here's a quick overview. We start with a relaxation exercise to bring your awareness into your body sensations, and you get very calm and focused. And then you create these imaginary parent figures that are so attuned to you and what you need. They give you all the attachment security you needed as a kid and that you still need. And meanwhile, your brain is laying down new neural pathways that represent these secure feelings so that you can follow a new relationship path in the future. And here's why it works. Remember, attachment starts in infancy. And when we're an infant, we are not thinking and learning about stuff in a cognitive way. We're feeling, we're experiencing the sensations. If you watch a baby, you'll see this, right? For the first few years, we're really feelers instead of thinkers. And with the ideal parent figure, because you're so inwardly focused, you are experiencing the parents through your sensations in your body. And this makes them very potent because you're not translating them through your cognitive system. You're just really learning them and experiencing them in the same sort of language that you did the first time you learned attachment. So you may be wondering, attachment, what now? So the attachment figures, these imaginary parents, we use imaginary ones because no parents can be ideal. No actual parents can. It's not possible. It's not necessary. It's not realistic. We have to create these parents so that they are ideally attuned to exactly the right way to be with you. Because they're imaginary, you can change them in any ways that make them even more right for you and your needs. And it just has been shown that it's much easier to create imaginary parents and to imagine your actual but imperfect parents doing all the things that you really needed, but that they just weren't able to do for you. Your brain isn't great at distinguishing between deeply felt imaginary experiences and a real one. And that's good because that means that you feel like you've been with a loving, supportive parent who is perfect at meeting all of your needs. Another great thing about them being imaginary is that you can take them home with you and access them anytime you need. You can sort of conjure them up to support you if you've got a relationship issue, if you've got a big meeting that you're trying to get ready for, any of those ways that you can draw on them. And so you get them for more than just an hour a week. Using the ideal parent figures also takes time, but remember that when you first learned attachment as a baby, you had a billion interactions that you're learning from. But because that ideal parent figure work has so many facets, it's got the sensory and somatic and imaginary and collaborative, it's growing this earned security in fertilized and sunlit and watered soil, and it's powerful. Back to Jan, as the process went on, she had fewer incidents where she got so upset and anxious when her boyfriend wanted to take time away. Um, she didn't lose her temper as much. She could draw on the reliability and the support of her ideal parent figures when she felt that nervousness because her boyfriend wanted space. And that meant that he could go off and get recharged and come back to her sooner. Um, and she could see when she needed reassurance and could ask for it. She realized eventually that her boyfriend wasn't able to give her what she needed, and she was able to break it off without sliding back into his arms like she had done many times before. Jan is still working with her ideal parent figures, and she's building that neural pathway that supports her in all kinds of relationships in her life. And I'm so happy that she's seeing changes. If you are interested in finding out more about repairing your attachment style and the ideal parent figure work, if you're even wondering like what attachment style you might be, I'd love to hear from you. Reach out and let's talk about imaginary parents and how they could have a profound impact on your actual life. I'm at Jill at applegatemft.com. Thank you.